I am who I am because of my week-long experience at Space Camp. I found the self-efficacy to believe that it could happen for me.
Up until April 12, 1981, Diallo Wallace wanted to be a truck driver or paleontologist, but when he saw STS-1 lift off the launch pad on his mother's 13-inch black and white TV and heard that the two men on board were naval aviators who flew jets that took off and landed on ships at sea, a new dream took shape. While other kids were keeping up with the stats of Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and Bo Jackson, Diallo knew the flight rotations of each space shuttle mission. He was determined to become a naval aviator and astronaut like John Young and Robert Crippen of STS-1.
Dee knew his dreams early on. Heck, his 6th grade art project had the word NASA sprawled across it. And then we made it to junior high. And in junior high, all of my notes and all of my letters were signed by Diallo S. Wallace, future astronaut.
While this was his dream, he was the child of a single parent with very little money. Deep down, he didn't believe it could ever happen for him. Even so, his mom supported his dreams. Diallo found out about Space Camp when he was in junior high and wanted to go so badly. He kept trying to figure out how he was going to afford it with his paper route while he was also contributing to the household groceries. He felt it was almost guilty to want to go when his family was struggling for basic needs. Enter Apollo 15 astronaut Jim Irwin. He visited Diallo's high school, and Diallo's physics teacher recommended Diallo to lead Jim around. After this experience, Diallo and Jim became really good friends. They would write letters back and forth. And in those letters, Diallo expressed his desire to go to Space Camp, and Jim encouraged Diallo to apply for a scholarship. Shortly thereafter, Diallo found out he had received a scholarship to go to Space Camp. To this day, Diallo still believes that Jim had something to do with his receiving it. Sadly, Jim passed away right before Diallo went to Space Camp, but Diallo has never forgotten what Jim did for him. At Space Camp, Diallo realized that his dreams were up to him to achieve. He won the Right Stuff Award and made a decision to chase his dreams regardless of where he came from.
And after Space Camp, when he returned, he was more determined and more dedicated than ever to pursuing his dreams. He put himself through college right out of high school, only to find out after obtaining his bachelor's degree that he had to have a pure science or a pure engineering degree. But he didn't let that stop him. You know what he did? He turned around, he enrolled in another college, and he got his second bachelor's to put him on his path to continue following his dreams. You see, he didn't stop there. He became a Navy pilot. He flew in the Gulf Wars. And then he went back to school again, and he added on his master's. Heck, I think he might even have 2, but I've lost count at this point.
After his time as a Navy pilot, he became a classroom teacher, teaching aviation and engineering to middle and high school students. He even took his students across the country from California to Space Camp.
Diallo took our kids to Space Camp, and for them, it was eye-opening, traveling all across the country to get to Huntsville, Alabama, and really see what's possible. The amount of technology and just the sheer number of jobs that are available in science for people who are interested and willing to pursue careers in STEM.
He is now an aerospace engineering instructor at the United States Naval Academy. To this day, Diallo still dreams of being an astronaut. While he has applied multiple times and not been accepted, he has served as an analog astronaut and still hopes to one day fly to space. However, he has since realized that his why in life is not simply to be an astronaut, but to help make them instead.
You could not have picked someone better to enter into the Hall of Fame at Space Camp. Congratulations, Diallo. I love you.
Just know that both Mom and Fari are here. The warmth that you feel around you here today, know that that is the pride that they are spilling over with for their brother and son. You are loved, Diallo Wallace, and everyone in your circle will never, ever stop rooting for you and for your dreams.